caravan vlogging.
Hi, welcome back and thanks for joining us. And today we're going to do a look at one of Adria's latest caravans, and that's the Adria Tiber. Now it's part of the Adora range of caravans, and it was released, or it was announced rather, on the 9th of February this year, so 2021. They say that models should start appearing in the showrooms in April, so this is a good time to have a look at the Tiber, what it's offering, how much it costs, and what we think of it really. Okay, so who are Adria? So they're a Slovenian leisure vehicle manufacturer who make caravans and motorhomes and camper vans. Now, you might think I'm not the biggest Adria fan in the world. Now, I don't dislike Adrias. I don't really dislike any caravan. I would buy. In fact, this is our third caravan. We've had a Naus, a Bailey, and a Swift. So I don't have any brand loyalties. I'm not particularly a fanboy of any one manufacturer, but there are things I like and dislike about all caravans. So in this one, I'll show you the caravan. I'll give you my personal opinion on it. Now, it's completely up to you whether you like it or not, obviously. And if you want to buy one, feel free to buy one. I'm not going to persuade you either to buy one or not to buy one. Let's step into it. 4-berth caravan, so the website says, and I think that's what it is. Although this document that I printed off from Adria actually says it's a 6-berth. So yeah, so I'll put the layout here. So as you can see, it's rear island bed, centre washroom, and a lounge at the front. Now, I'll just go over the vital statistics. So it says here, the overall length is 8.2 metres. Now, I'll just stop there. So 8.2 metres. So I think the internal measurements of the caravan, the actual caravan itself, is probably the same as any other caravan, but they do seem to have a really long A-frame, which is good if you want to mount bikes on it, and that's probably why they do it. However, one thing a word of caution there, we get a recovery service through our bank, and it will recover the caravan as well if the car breaks down. However, it won't if it's got to be under 8 metres. 2.46 metres wide, which is 8 foot wide caravan. So this is a big caravan, and the height is 2.6 metres. Now, there's no information on mass running order, MIRO or MRO, so, and also MTPLM. So at the moment, I don't know how heavy the van is, and there's no information that I can find about it. It's all to be announced. Now, considering they've announced it publicly on the 9th of February, no, I can't imagine that anyone's going to be placing an order unless they know how much the thing weighs, because you'd need to know if you tow car. Anyway, that's there. So there's a whole list of specs here. Now, it's a really good document, and I'll maybe share with the screen here because it goes through exactly the sizes. A few things that sort of drew my attention. AKS stabilizer, you'd expect that, I guess. A spare wheel with holder. Now, I read somewhere that the spare wheel actually goes in the front locker. Again, it's all a bit up in the air at the moment. So if the spare wheel goes in the front locker, then you'd need to just make sure what the nose weight is. Again, because of towing. It says it has steel wheels and alloy wheels, so I assume the spare wheel is a steel wheel. Shock absorbers. So it is an Alco chassis, single axle. Now this is a long caravan for a single axle. So looking at the picture, it's a very, very long overhang at the back. You need to take that into consideration when towing. So things that standard, like howl and damage resistant polyester roof, panoramic double glazed sunroof, split front door, like the barn door thing. What I'll do, I'll put a link to our website down below, because I'll have typed all this up, so probably rather than me rattle through the whole lot on the video, I'll put a link in the description to our website where you'll be able to look at these figures at your leisure. So here's the interior of the Tiber. Now, one thing I'll point out straight away, I'm not keen on these blinds. They seem to be see, these are pleated up here, but these seem to be the flat ones, which I always think of as a budget kind of. So what I think is interesting to try and do is, because Adria are selling this at say 26,000, which is £1,000 cheaper than the Swift that we bought. That's right, £1,000. But it's 8 foot wide and longer. So where have they kind of cut back little bits maybe. So these blinds are certainly one area. Something else I find interesting is if I put up a picture of the image that I've got of the Tiber, if you have a look at, especially at the front, and it looks there like one big window. If you look at the shine on the, it's just one big window, but I've read it's 3 separate windows, and here the curtains sort of seem to suggest it's 3, although they've drawn the curtains over that window, so I'm not sure what's going on with those windows. Maybe they're quite narrow, because that's quite a big window there. I'm sure you'll agree. So nice curtains. I think they've made a bit of a hash of the way, and also here, I mean, they've drawn curtains there, maybe either one to show you they're drawn, or maybe there's something outside that it might be in a factory, for instance, which is fine. So nice lighting here, all good lighting above the pelmet there and above the roof, the wall cabinets. Looks like possibly a shelf maybe there, I'm not sure. So no front locker, no front chest of drawers here, which I know a lot of people like, but a good shelf here. Now I'm not sure how that folds down. Maybe, looking at the, I don't know if that obviously will fold down somehow. Lots of cushions there. I think these are standard. Fly nets, fly blinds, which is good. Nice deep cupboards by the looks of it, and I do like the wood. Maybe metal inlay possibly. Good choice of position on the lights there. Looks like it all looks good quality stuff. What we're seeing here, a little shelf there, which is probably handy. I'll go on about those shelves. I'll go on to those shelves in a minute. I'll go on about them as well. So far, it's good for me, from my perspective. Now this is where, for me, it all goes a bit, too contemporary for me. Now I think what's happened here is Adria have ordered maybe 7 billion cabinets from IKEA, and they've got to use them up. So I think we're going to have these with Adria quite a lot. Now I know it's Adria style, it's more modern. And what I will say, it looks a bit like a hotel, like a really nice hotel apartment than it does a traditional type caravan. Like for us, caravaning is a bit more about homely, a bit more, I say old-fashioned, I guess. Now it pains me to say that, because our first caravan, the Nous, was, as for its kind of age, it was a very contemporary, modern, much like this. Now one thing maybe you do like, maybe you don't like these. It's got this rail going the whole length here, so you can obviously order these little boxes, and which is great because you always need room there. No flap up by the looks of it at the end of the kitchen unit, so that's, for me, that's quite a small work area. Big hob, looking like a bit like an induction hob, but it's going to be gas rings there because of the controls there. It does have a microwave. I believe it's in one of these cupboards up here. A good solid door there. Pretty standard cooker. I'll put the make of the cooker here. In here, quite a nice size sink there. It's not a fruit bowl sink, which I'm pleased about. Again, frosted window, which is good. Blinds there. Lots of storage space. Now they look really deep. I don't know if it's just the angle of the, I don't know if the Adria is even higher than normal caravans. Nice mirror, towel rail there. Good, it's got a barn door. I know a lot of people like the barn doors. Our Swift doesn't have that, but again, it's preferable for us. Good size, looking like a good size. In fact, looks like a massive. I think it's 140 litre, which is pretty standard. Our Bailey had a 190 litre one, which was a really big fridge, but it didn't look as big as that. So obviously they've done something with the cabinetry here to make it look like all part of the fridge. I think potentially that's the microwave up there, maybe. If it is the microwave, I don't know if I like that position. Interesting though. Good size shower, wheel arch, which is, for most, in fact all mid bathrooms, you're going to get the wheel arch encroaching there. I mean, for me, I don't mind it. You could sit on it, I guess, or put your toiletries on there. Good shower head and nice roof there. Now I did read somewhere that it has pre-fittings for air conditioning, roof-mounted air conditioning. I assume you don't get it, but all the fittings are there, so that if you want it, it will easily go in. Bedroom, good sized bedroom. Another thing, I don't know if it's got outer heating. It's all not completely clear in the documentation, so I assume it hasn't. Otherwise they'd be crowing about it, wouldn't they? I mean, as all manufacturers do. Audi heating is their kind of premium, on their premium caravans usually. Again, I do like it. It's very neat looking, but a bit too clinical for me. I'm not a big fan of curtains anyway that can be used. I'd rather just have the blinds, and like with the Swift, that you get the pads down the side. Again, personal choice. The bed does slide back. So this is, unlike the Swift that we bought, is one centre door, whereas the Swift has two doors, which we personally prefer. Again, a personal thing. Weird panel here, quite ingenious though. It's where they've put the TV bracket. If you can see, the door's there and it slides back, but there's another panel there in front of it. I like that idea. TV looks a bit low possibly, but again, splitting hairs here. Again, another innovation is that these slide backwards and forwards. Again, for me, a bit too IKEA, but having said that, we have IKEA furniture in the house. Now these curtains are a bit odd. Look, here's the blind level there, but the curtains go right to the ceiling. I find that all a bit strange. Usually they're just above the pelmet, and anyway, it's a good lot of light switches there. Can't see where the light switches are if you're in bed. I'd like to get a better look at these blinds. I've got a feeling they're hiding them from me because they're just what I'd consider the cheaper ones, not the pleated ones. Now, good thing about having, if I go here to the kitchen, good thing about having these, as I'll call flat blinds, is that they would probably be wiped clean. So in the kitchen you want that, but everywhere else, like here, they've got this pleated blind. And while we look at this, I mean, this is a massive roof light. Now, Adria say it's the largest of any caravan on the UK market. Now, I'll take their word for it because it does look big. The Bailey do something very similar, but they don't have this sort of transom line across here. But, from my perspective, well lit, contemporary. Mind you, it looks like Audi heating control there. Fairly small skylight there. I like these lights. It looks like they slide around. So there you go. That's our first look at the Adria Tiber. Again, I haven't got too many negative things to say about it. It's all personal. Now I know they're very well built. They have a massive factory, I think, in Slovenia. Maybe I'll have put some video before when I was talking. Hopefully I did. If not, I'll just play a bit now because it is massive. Factory, much like Swift and Bailey, it has to be said. They're also big plants in their own right. So there you are, Adria Tiber 2021, brand new caravan from Adria. Now, if this is your thing, it looks like a very good price at 26,000 for an 8-foot wide caravan. Now, as I said earlier, I would just double check everything about a caravan being over 8 meters. Don't have the facts to hand, but there's reasons why caravans are not made up to 8 meters. Are made up to 8 meters, not over 8 meters. There you go. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.